I'm Madeline Harvey. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and welcome to our lesson. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to release more tension from your mix. So if you've ever noticed that when you're singing a song, you tend to pull up that chest voice and it feels strainy or difficult, or you notice that your voice happens to break a lot, then this is just the lesson for you. So if you like today's video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up or click that subscribe button below. I would love to see you here more often. So I'm going to walk you through a really quick exercise, and I know it's going to help you out a lot, but I do want to encourage you that if you like today's video and would like to do a full-length voice lesson, I did just do a live about this topic. It's a full hour long with multiple exercises on this very subject. So if you like this video, click that join button below, become a member of this channel. That way you can access the full lesson. All right, here we go. So our tricky our tricky sound, we're gonna set it up properly. We've gotta handle multiple dimensions. We've gotta handle 3, in fact. 1 is that our pressure from our breath is nice and even. That means we're moving in a very straight line forward through our face out into time and space. That's what our breath is doing. Nice and straight. The second thing is we're going to make sure that we are not tensing the tongue. So we're going to put the tongue in a particular situation where it's less likely to tense, but it still could tense. The third thing is that we want to highlight exclusively what's known as the mask or the nasopharynx. If you're looking at your resonators, this part of your face is the amplifier. So it's a great way to get a lot more sound, but with half as much effort. So here's what I want you to do. We're going to put the tongue in a NG sound, like we're singing the word sing. So if you notice that in that NG position, the tip of the tongue is touching the bottom teeth, whereas the back of the tongue is completely lifted, shutting off the mouth. That's really important. Shut off your mouth. The sound should sound kind of muffled, like this. If it sounds, I've just dropped the tongue a little bit and now I have mouth space. I don't want that. I don't want that. We want to highlight exclusive resonance to this little triangular space right here, the mask. So as we go up, again, keep your pressure consistent like a little line. It will not feel like chest voice and then flip into head voice. We don't want that. Although, I would imagine that that is highly probable. So I'm going to give you permission for your voice to break, but I do not want you to pull up your chest voice. Okay, I want you to get an equalized approach to sending your pressure up into the nose. This will give you something to hold on to as you shift from chest into mix into head. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a little slide up and down across an octave space. Start and end in the nose. Okay, here we go. Let's give it a try. Good. Good. Just keep an eye, and you want to make sure that your tongue is not tensing. You don't want to feel like you're trying to pull that musculature up into the mix. Just let the tongue be nice and still. So if you are discovering that that's you, keep your thumb right there, just as a watchful eye, making sure that that part's not tensing. Let's try that one again. Good. 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 Now again, if your voice is breaking a lot, that's a good indicator that you're trying to pull that musculature up into the mix. Ultimately, that made my voice cough a little. Ultimately, we want that to be released because we want an equivalent head voice strength. It's a lot easier if you look at it like that. It's not heady. We're not going, that's kind of falsetto-y. But we want a nice, equal, balanced mixture. Mixture is only possible when there's an equivalency, which means that head voice is just as dominant as the chest. So really think about that as you're going higher. You'll notice there's slight fluctuations. That's okay. And don't be discouraged if it's not a perfectly synced, blended sound. This is something that takes a little bit of time to develop, or it just takes a little bit of tuning in with the day. So let's try that one again. Yeah. That's a pretty loud sound. But because the sound is muffled, the mouth is pretty much shut, all of that pressure is being fed, consistently streamed into that mask. The nose can handle the pressure. If you're finding that it feels imbalanced or feels like you may want to cough, just go a little bit quieter. There's a little bit more pressure than what your voice is accustomed to. So we want balance. We want balance, always balance. And I will just go ahead and say, don't try to overcompensate. I'd prefer that it goes slightly heady. We're at E5 right now. That is a head voice territory. I mean, for sure. So allow it to go into head voice as a blended sound. Let's try it here. Try again. Yes, 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 yes. Something to think about is what is the least amount of effort that I can get away with? So again, we don't want it to be like, although that is pretty, that's not building any real form of strength. But what's the least amount of effort that I can get away with? If I'm efforting here, that's going to take way too much effort to sing this F5. Way too much, and I don't want your voice to be imbalanced. So what's the least amount of effort that I can get away with? It's a matter of working smarter and not harder in terms of placement. So let's try that one more time. Here we go. Good. Very, very good. And don't fault yourself if there's tiny little fluctuations, tiny little breaks. We're looking for a general feel, but we definitely want to make sure that we have those three things. One, consistent flow of airflow moving through the center of the face. Like it feels like nice straight flow of air. There's no fluctuations that make it feel like here or here. Second, we can relax that tongue. That's probably the biggest takeaway from today. Relax, relax, relax the tongue. Third, accentuate that nasopharynx, that mask. Bounce the sound off the front of the face. This will give you a way to amplify the sound, getting both strength and vulnerability in your vocal work. And if you're working on a particular song that has high notes in it or even mixed notes in it, I would do a line or two from like most of the song in this position. That way you can sort of feel what you're dealing with as you move from note to note to note. You want to eventually feel like the voice is not breaking, it's not wobbling, but every note is playing out in a straight line, no matter how high or low it is. That's what an equalized voice, a blended voice sounds like. Cool. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up or click that subscribe button below. I'd love to see you more often. And if you want to check out the entire live that we just did just today, it's a full hour of this vocal work, then be sure to click the join button below and become a member of this channel. As a member, you'll have exclusive access to all of our lives that we do every Monday and Thursday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, but you'll also have access to our members only area with over 100 hours worth of voice lessons just in case you can't make the lives. So again, click that join button below. It's only $4.99 a month, and your contribution helps to support our channel. That way we can continue to deliver awesome content that's just for you. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you next time. Bye!